how we always do it.
I know, but I haven't been on Zoom in an interview probably since my birthday when we did the last one, brother. I do a lot of Skype interviews. So, hey, thank you, though. Thank you for having me.
Maybe I should start doing Skype. Maybe that's easier. I don't know.
Well, maybe teach me Zoom because I want to do some Zoom classes. And I could ask you or Aurora. I know Aurora gives Zoom classes. She's so damn cool.
Yeah, I like Aurora.
How are you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're having a crazy adventure over here in Oregon.
I thought you were in Cali. Wait a minute, I'm confused. You're in Oregon?
We were in Cali, but we just up and moved to Oregon because we needed to get out of Cali.
Well, you know what? Oregon's a pretty awesome place. Are you anywhere near Portland? I got a lot of spiritual badass family over there. I can introduce, well, probably know some of them.
Yeah, we're in like Tigard right now. We had a spot, but the spot kind of fell through, so we had to hit the streets, and now we're just in a motel looking for, like, we have a lot of work in the process, but it's just taking a while. So
You know what, though, Gary? Best to do it now. This is the year of the foundation. We just went through this massive astrology shift that's with us for all of 2020. It was time to do new things with your life and break away from bad relationships. And here you and your girl are doing exactly what you should. Good for you.
Yeah, happy for you. I think it's a good thing. We tend to be stuck in the same thing, right? You go in the same circle all day, every day, same. And I know, like, it's challenging to try to change things, especially if we don't have a lot of people that we know here, but I don't know.
And I teach not to stay in cycles. Yeah. I'm the person who teaches people how to Hulk smash that shit. This is a new cycle for you. It's not hard for empaths to do it. It feels like it is in the beginning, Gary, but when you get the knack of it, it feels very normal to do things outside of that habitual endless circle of pain and agony and goodness. So
yeah, we don't need to do that. We need to change things. I know we needed to, like, I felt a call because I had just gotten a job in Fresno doing metal work, so it was fine, but I need to be working with people, I need to be actually, like, doing energy work and stuff like that, but the Matrix doesn't want me to too easily follow my, the things that I'm supposed to be doing, so there are enough roadblocks.
I'm going to teach you to say that differently, Gary. You're meant to do energy work. You're meant to do this YouTube stuff. You're meant to educate. You're meant to enlighten. The Matrix may not want any of us empaths to do that, but our soul's code, our divine spark certainly wants us to, and that power supersedes over any freaking force that tries to compress us. So know that.
I know.
Take a class with me.
I know. I'll take classes with everybody when I can afford it. It's all it's very strange. Like, the only thing that has any control over me here is the money system. Like, if beings are trying to manipulate and control me, then they don't show their faces. I understand that, yes, there are probably beings that do things, but I don't see other things manipulating aside from the money system on me directly.
We can smash that too, Gary. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I came from nothing. No home, no money, car, no friends, no help, and no health. I was almost, I was paralyzed on the left side of my body. Mm-hmm. So if I can do it, you can do it. We just have to get out of the lack paradigm that we spiritualists don't deserve to have financial currency, money currency. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's a learned process, but this year is the foundational year of the next 35 for any of us spiritual badasses to be entrepreneurs and to make money, because the world is so damn broken, brother. They need coaches and mentors and energy masters and counselors and educators. That is the business for the next 12 years at least. There's money to be made. Whether we have a money structure in 12 years from now, I don't know, but we're going to Hulk smash that paradigm that spiritual people don't deserve to have energy currency. Dollar bills, yo.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this? You have to have a good relationship with money to begin with, because most spiritual people, including myself in my past, running free hotlines, 24/7 hotlines, working for free, draining my currency, draining my life force. I was afraid to have a relationship with money. And, we get impregnated that money is the root of all evil. It's got the all-seeing eye. It's controlled. It maybe is all that, but until you learn to have a relationship with money, that money is an energy currency that supports you, that wants to love you, that wants to be loved back, because it nourishes you. It keeps your lights on. It puts food in the refrigerator, right? That's nourishment.
Right.
But the home of your head, that's nourishment. It allows you to have a computer so we can have this show. That's nourishment. So that's a relationship to a currency that just happens to be called money. Let's have a beautiful relationship with money. Let's Hulk smash this shit once and for all.
I agree with you. I'm not fighting that at all. I know I personally have blocks with regards to money. I don't exactly know how to get rid of them. I just know that, like, I know what I want to be doing. I know what's correct. Like, whatever stuff I do on my channel is correct for me. But the channel itself doesn't really pay bills. And part of the whole reason of us moving to Oregon was so we could have a fresh start, have our own place. Like, when we were in Fresno, we were with roommates that their consciousness is not remotely close to ours, so I can't really even do shows in there because they're like, it's awkward. But
yeah.
we're just pushing toward having our own space that we can create in, and then I didn't realize how important that was to have like a sacred space. Like, here, I'm in my little vehicle here, right?
Yeah, I see that.
And it's 1,000 times different than being inside a house that's shared by other beings that don't see things close enough, congruently enough with you, that you feel uncomfortable having someone on the show. Like, it's impossible to do it.
Well, so begin your new endeavor. Listen, if you want to trade services, dude, I don't need currency exchange of dollar bills. I could, you're technical, you're wise with computers. I need that kind of help. I'll exchange my services for yours. What's creative here?
Okay. We can get some trade going.
Yeah, and I can help you with those energy blocks that are probably in you from a little boy, right? Because we come from repressed empath, codependency, narcissistic abuse, whatever you want to call it, all of the above. So we have some belief systems in us that we may not even be aware of. Like you immediately think the Matrix wants to punish you from not making dollar bills. So that's a blocking you that probably goes back to your childhood, however your parents raised you. If you had poverty consciousness then that carried through to your adult life. It could be a number of things, right down to the I'm not good enough block that I find in everyone. The I'm not good enough block applies to love, career, self-worth, money, everything. The I'm not good enough block.
Yep. Insecurity.
Yeah, it all comes down to that. So we go right to the root of it. And I can I kind of take you through, it's almost like a regression of like when it first happened. Were you 3? And then what was it like when you were 7? And then I'll urge another memory out of you, and maybe you were, in your teenage years, and then I'll urge another memory maybe in your young adult life. So we get to the root of it, and you can see the progression of the belief system you've been carrying so long. And once you get it, it's just like it gets knocked down forever, brother, and it's no longer a block for you. In fact, it's such an open channel that you never look back to that old belief system ever again. And I'm just kind of perfecting this new work of mine now. Now, I'm not doing anything like I was even in 2019. I'm on a whole different platform of teaching.
Mm. Yeah, you said some things were changing for you recently, right? Since the last show?
Yeah, and thank you for letting me be on your shows through my recovery. I mean, you and Kev Baker and Nikki Colombo really almost documented my recovery process through 2018, through the 2019. And had I not been able to do that, I don't think I would have been able to write my 10-step recovery or my 9-step new life model and teach so differently, and think so different, and really get that.
The connection's a little bad, Jolene. Just one sec. Can you still hear me? You still there, Jolene? I think we're gonna have to lose the connection and reboot itself. Just like with Becky. I believe that's how it's gonna work.
Okay.
You're back. I just did a show with this girl in the UK, and it was the same thing. I've been having technological problems. We're in the motel. It's ridiculous. Like, I could complain all day about the amount of crap I've had to go through to try to get shows going. And I have another one going on after this. The Snail Collective is supposed to meet at 2, and I'm just in the car. It's just a lot of nonsense.
Okay. So we've got Mercury right now messing around the moon cycles from the eclipse that we had on the 10th. We've got a lot of mercurial. It feels like Mercury's retrograding right now, basically, in a nutshell. So any type of plans you've made, you can almost expect glitches. You can expect the planet Uranus to kind of ba-bam you. So just flow with the flow, bro. Flow with the mistakes. Flow through the channels of what you think are blocking you. It's just it's astrology right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I was getting frustrated this morning because the technology wasn't working to connect me with the first person I was supposed to have on. And then I went and paid for $5 of faster Wi-Fi because the motel Wi-Fi was slow, super slow. And then my computer had already saved the network, and it wouldn't allow me to get back to the password page, which would have allowed me to put the faster internet in there. And we spent all this time trying to figure out how to get back to that. It was just block after block, and then the first Starbucks just wouldn't connect. So I ended up at this Starbucks, and it finally connected, but it was a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is. Mercury, it feels like it's retrograding right now. By tomorrow, it'll be calm. In fact, tomorrow is a major karmic decision day. So be careful of your decisions tomorrow. Whatever decisions you're making, do it with the sword of truth, Gary, because those decisions will be either fate related or destiny related, either spanking related or reward related. Okay. Tomorrow's a good. The energy will break by tomorrow. Today and yesterday was some kind of Mercury fuckery. Transportation, plans being erupted, unexpected problems, technology, lots of. I don't know if you've seen lots of cops out. So there'll be a lot of cops, a lot more accidents. So just be prepared to change with change.
Yeah, I probably should actually pay a little more attention to the astrological significance of things, but my approach, and it's
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? It's funny that
I can hear you now. We sound like the old AT&T commercials. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's really funny. Like, everything we talk about, it's literally, it happens to you while you're talking about it. Like we're talking about technological problems, and then you can't hear me talk about technological problems because of technology. It's very silly.
I've been studying astrology like serious now because I really want to learn it to be able to help people apply it. Astrology was one of the big parts of my recovery, to follow it, to really face some of my fears and limited thinking and stuff. So I've been really trying to learn it since September. And I listen to these reports, right? I listen to these reports, and I write about like 8 pages of things that I know is going to happen for the week. So I could either come and deliver reports up on my YouTube or on the Facebook Lives, and honestly, it helps you prepare for this. Because like if I wasn't following astrology, I would not know this weekend plans may disintegrate, plans may fall apart, glitches might happen, accidents, technology. You wouldn't know that if you didn't listen to astrology, right? So let it work for you, man.
Yeah, I don't. I was going to tell you before the thing started messing up that I went into a mode of like, it's like if you get a zoomed out view and then you can see everything, and then you come back in, and well, you get the zoomed out view that says everything's fine always, and you're always taken care of, even if, bad things happen. When I saw that, then I came back into the body, so to speak, and I was like, the most interesting way to live my life would be to not have any information whatsoever, and to like literally just go off of, like moment to moment. And I know that's a ridiculous approach, but that's kind of...
It's not. One of the greatest books ever written is called the Tao Te Ching. It tells you to live exactly like that. Tao Te Ching and any Eckhart Tolle book, and
Right.
any Eckhart Tolle book will tell you to live that way. There's actually a lot of power in that. Some people even say, if you don't use astrology or divination or anything, that's just who I am, right, Gary? I mean, I'm just a supernatural girl. So that's divination stuff working. But if you look at life as everything that's happening around you, including the chaotic things, including the negative experiences, if you could think that your future self already chose that. So it helps you kind of roll through chaos and obstacles a whole lot easier with less resistance, knowing your future self already chose that for you.
Yeah, exactly. Does
that make sense?
Yeah, and then you can cuss your future self out too, like...
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, go bitch. But you know what? Our future, and that is true. Primarily, we're living the past and the future at the same time. But if we stay in the power of now, there's like this little story. It's a very Taoist story. I think Stuart Wilde tells it. Say some guy wins $1 million, right? And his friends and family are all saying, "Oh, that's amazing! You won $1 million." And the older guy is like, "Maybe." And the family around them and friends can't understand. Hey, why isn't he excited? He won $1 million. He's just saying, maybe. And then a week later, the same guy gets in a very bad accident. He's got no health insurance. He goes in the hospital. His hospital bill is $1 million. And the people, his friends and family, say to him, "Oh my God, it's terrible. What happened to you? It's terrible. You ended up in the hospital and all your money's gone." And the guy gives the same answer. Maybe. He's living in the Tao. He's living in the now. He's living knowing his future and his past made the now. So I don't know if I'm telling the story right, but hope you get my drift.
Yeah. There's a similar story in AA, back when I was in AA.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to ashtray in. I hardly smoke. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Smoking is...
I'll put it down in my little cauldron. All right.
Smoking is definitely an interesting thing.
What is an interesting thing?
Smoking.
You know what? I'm here to Hulk smash paradigms. I was just talking about this on Tarot Time. I'm doing Tarot Time, by the way, Gary. It went from a couple hundred views to yesterday. I had over 2,000 views and 1,700 in the room, and then 2,000 views within the first hour.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was talking about breaking these paradigms. It's not that we support GMOs or chemtrails or vaccines. But every now and then I eat a fucking Oreo cookie, and I got decadent cakes in my freezer. I just had a beautiful piece of salmon for dinner. I smoke an occasional cigarette. I would be begrudging any person in a wheelchair that needed medicine and tell them, if you don't get your body perfectly, positively clean, you can't be supernatural, or you can't connect into your divine self, and you can't live the life of your dreams. So yes, all that stuff is bad for you, but if you want to eat an Oreo cookie or smoke a puff off an American Spirit cigarette, I don't condone drugs or anything like heroin or getting drunk or that kind of stuff, and I don't condone GMOs or vaccines, but I certainly don't begrudge anybody who's disabled, who needs medicine, who's on poverty levels, needing to eat, sliced cheese with those plastic wrappers.
Mm-hmm.
They're the people that actually have the best supernatural abilities. I know some of the biggest vegan assholes that are so not awake.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's break paradigms here. We have a reset. We've waited 26,000 years for this past January 12th. It's a long time. This is reset time.
That's supposed to be January 12th, the 26,000 years?
Astrologically, you don't follow it. So I've been following astrology since 2013, but really started applying it I'm going on 3 years now, and then started seriously learning it last year. And it's become like a science to me to break the matrix, to break the codes, to bring in the limitlessness. So to listen to these astrologers talk for the last 2 years about this conjunction that just happened, January 10th through the 12th, we've never seen it ever, and we never will again. This is theorized as the cosmic wars, control systems changing in the skies that are going to reset the earth. We're talking like a 6,000 year till the golden age kind of thing, where everybody's awakened and enlightened. But this is the foundation year of that to be built. The age of Aquarius, my friend. We just entered it on the 12th.
Yeah, the 12th, 10th to the 12th were crazy for us. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, so I was telling people that's your meter reader. If your life is spiraling in some area, that's your meter reader that you have to get the sword of truth and start changing those empath patterns, right? Those impregnated patterns that aren't working to your soul's divinity, your light codes. And that's enough to tell us what relationships do and do not work, whether they're physical relationships, whether they're mind, heart, pain, body, communicative, all those relationships, Gary. We have to, if something isn't right and something's spiraling, that's your energy meter that you got to be truthful in yourself and make hard, new decisions. And look, you're doing it. You're in Oregon.
Yeah.
At a Motel 6, trying to create a new foundation for yourself.
It's completely new. We're gonna do what we need to do to get an apartment, and then just like have our own space and begin doing our energy work. Like in person. Like I want to do Reiki. Andrea is gonna do reflexology, and then we're gonna combine as well. Internet connection unstable. You still there, Jolene? I think we're gonna have to have another reset. That seems to be technology problems. Da, 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 da. You're singing a song. Oh man. It's a machine. It's supposed to be instant internet everywhere. What else could possibly be happening inside of an actual machine? But we'll see if Jolene can come back for the third segment of the day. Yep. Are you back?
Tempting to be myself.
Jolene, you were just away for...
I lost you again.
Yeah, you were away for about a minute and a half, so if you want to repeat any of that.
Uh-oh. and your voice is like...
Yeah. Yours is the same thing. It's like a computer modulated voice. It's really funny.
Yeah, when is the new Matrix movie coming out? Isn't there a new one coming out soon? You gotta watch that one.
That's what I heard. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I want to watch it though. I loved the Matrix movies. They're like, as soon as I watched those, I was like, oh, that's explaining this whole place. Duh.
Yeah, I know. I went to this local fair in August of last year, and it was so funny. I wish I recorded it. It was the very first video I ever did on my YouTube channel. I just have a YouTube channel, Spiritual Badass Entrepreneur. And I went to this fair, and Gary, I swear to God, I was the only, literally the only organic consciousness at that fair. There were no children at this fair. There might have been one or two children. I only remember seeing one child at a fair, a fucking fair. There was no children. Everybody was talking about funnel cakes. Did you have the funnel cakes? Oh my God, gotta try the funnel cakes. We better go to the funnel cake line. And no matter where I stopped, it was like them glitching on funnel cakes. I walked up to this animal. It was this albino bull. All right. It was standing. I thought it was a statue because I didn't even believe the fucking animals were organic. This bull was so still and such an odd color. It wasn't white albino. It was just this very peculiar pinkish color. It looked like a statue. And until you got up to it, it still wouldn't move. And in fact, when the man finally said something, the bull finally moved, and I was like, oh my, and he even said something about funnel cakes. I walked through this fair. I was there for like 2 hours just to see. Everybody was glitching on funnel cakes. I'm not kidding. No matter where I stopped, people were doing their role, whether there was their leading action role playing, whether they were the NPCs, and glitching on funnel cakes. That even the animals weren't organic. I felt like I was walking through a really weird backwoods Cunnerman country bumpkin fucking horror film stuck in a fair with no children and
wow.
And being the only organic person there. So.
That's how I feel almost all the time. There's this guy here in Oregon named Mark, and he connected with me, and he's like, let's meet up sometime. And then he also said in the same text, he was like, you'll probably be the first like real person that I've met in Oregon. I don't know how long he's been here, but even if he's only been here for a couple of weeks, like that's still like a ridiculous thing to say, or even if it's close to true. Like I don't know.
I got some really good friends, brothers and sisters. You brother, you are not alone there. I've got some fantastic family there, soul family.
Yeah, send some connects. We could use a little more network support out here, definitely.
Yeah, you know what I'll do? I'll get a private messenger going and tag all my Oregon friends and you in there so you guys can coordinate meetups and stuff and see if they can help you find, stable housing near them so you're around soul family, man.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Portland's badass. Are you near Portland? I'm thinking of moving there.
We're in Tigard, I think you say it.
Where that is? I don't know that off the name.
It's close to Portland. We're probably 20 minutes south of Portland.
There's some great hiking there too, in between coming into Portland.
Yeah,
Kilimanjaro or something, Tilamara, big waterfalls in the valley. I forget what that's called. Tillamook.
Tillamook.
I think it's called.
Yeah. Isn't that a cheese also? Tillamook cheese?
I don't know. Find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be out in Oregon sometime, I think summertime maybe. I'm starting my tour in the spring towards Virginia, then heading down south, and then swinging around and heading out west. So by springtime, I should be out west.
You're doing
and then I go abroad.
You're doing a tour? You're doing a tour?
I am. I'm doing a tour. Okay. And then I was invited to go teach in Portugal, so I'm going to go do that.
Wow.
And I think I may have a home somewhere in Oregon and maybe one in Costa Rica or something, either Costa Rica or Portugal. I haven't decided. But yeah, I'm pursuing my life, Gary. I'm 54 years old. I want the next 35 years. This is a conjunction transition. That's a 35-year cycle. I don't know if I'm going to be alive 35 years from now. I want to go pursue everything that I have been squashed down for so long. So I'm starting my tour in May. February, March, May. I'm heading out towards Virginia and then working my way down south and then looping 80 west.
Okay. Well, we should have our place by then, hopefully.
Cool.
And you can come visit us and hang out for a little bit.
House along the way. People are opening up. I've been offered, Airbnbs. I've been offered cabins and retreats. I've been offered couches, rooms in farmhouses. So I'm going to not only meet all of our soul family brothers and sisters, but I'm also going to teach people as I travel through and stay with them and show them the new life model as I stay with them for a week or so here and there. So that's kind of like the whole purpose of the tour.
Sounds good. I would just give a word of advice if you haven't done this type of thing before. Just be aware that there's going to be about a half and half as far as energetic, congruence. So you're going to have like bad ones and you're going to have good ones. Like my experience is it's about half and half. And it's not always that the person is a bad person. Some of it's just that your energy is so far apart you can't even like be in the same place.
Right. So that's where recovery comes in handy, right? If you're skilled in recovery and you know the word, how to use your boundaries, how to express safely, you know red flags, you know how to execute staying safe. So course, brother. And I've traveled the country several times over before this last marriage of mine. So thank you for the advice.
I'm sure you know, but like it can get rough out there. You have to make sure you protect yourself.
Yeah, well, you know what? This girl also knows Shaolin China. I mean, I'm a student of Shaolin, Northern Shaolin and China, so I know how to rip muscles off bones. I know how to use the gun. Okay. And I know how to use my voice now. So if somebody wants to fuck with me, I feel sorry for them.
That's good.
I'm not afraid anymore.
That's good.
I'm not going to be a tough ass either because so many beautiful people have offered their home. And I'm not going to end up in like any Norman Bates kind of situation because if I'm going to travel to somebody's ashram or retreat center or their cabin, on the lake somewhere and it looks anything Norman Bates, I'm like fucking hightailing it out of there and I'm not even going to meet them.
Yeah. You use your intuition. That's what women know how to do, right? Woman's intuition.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's just such an honor because I was invited to go teach at a kinter, something they call a kinter in Portugal. A kinter is like a big farm retreat. So I'm going to teach at a kinter.
That's amazing.
And one of my students actually turned out to be, he went into recovery and fucking recovered in 6 months and turned even the narcissists around him to his advantage. So he taught me and I'm going to teach there and might stay for a while because I've always been drawn to Portugal since I've been a teenager. So, and then from there, I have like dreams of, I want to go meet David Palmer and the High Vibe team in California. And then I want to go over to Costa Rica and meet a bunch of badasses over there. Costa Rica is filled with so many big people over there in the spiritual community. And Bali. I don't want the Bali thing. So.
You don't want the Bali thing, or you do?
I'm not into the Bali thing. I mean, maybe to go as a vacationer or something, but not to live there.
Yeah.
I used to have dreams of Costa Rica through my marriage, and I could never figure out why. So to know that some of my own colleagues are there and doing these massive conferences that I eventually go plan to teach on and talk on. I was invited onto David Icke's Iconic Network too, Gary.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw that you posted something about that. What is that exactly?
It's like Gaia TV or High Vibe TV, but the Iconic Network run by David Icke. And I'm just, dude, I got rid of 1,000 people in our community. 1,000 people, including about 400 colleagues and 100 groups. I was just so tired of the judgments and the not letting you be expressive and not letting you be human.
Yeah.
And promoting everybody and getting squashed all the time. So I took these big chances and not only started knocking on doors of some of my heroes on some of the creator channels, the YouTube creator channels, but then doing that, people started knocking on my door. I got invited on to Iconic. I got invited to these places where they want me to be human. So we're making big choices here, Gary. The relationships that don't work, don't work. I only kept about 5 of you guys. I kept you, Aurora, James Bartley, Jenny Constantine, and the other person, Patricia Barrington. She passed away. So I kept probably 5 of you guys out of everybody.
That's hilarious. No, you trimmed the whole tree down.
I did, because I've been like the proverbial soccer player that supports the team, advertises for the team, gets the winning goals, brings people to the soccer games, and if I ever missed a goal, that's what they would punish me for, Gary, instead of holiness. So I just got rid of it.
That's good. I've threatened to trim my tree many times, but I've always been either too lazy or my personal situation has always been up in chaotic, whatever. So I've never actually done it. But I do agree that toxic people are just toxic. They're just bad for you. There's not like a mitigating, redeeming, like, oh, but they're nice sometimes. No, they're like 100% bad for you. You just have to cut them out.
Gary, I died 3 times in 2018 from hatred, from judgments, from fault picking. I was faulted and hated for 53 years, and it killed me 3 times. I owed it to myself to remove myself from hatred. My life force, I love life, brother. I'm so happy to be alive. I will never let anyone hate me to the point where I want to die. And that's why I made the decision to get rid of the community I was in. That's why.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Steal my spirit and crush my soul. I'm about restoration, man. They can judge me all they want, but they can talk to the hand now. I believe it.
That's good. I'm fully supportive of that.
Yeah, and the ones like you, like Aurora, like James Bartley.
I don't know James Bartley.
James is top notch. He runs a website called The Cosmic Switchboard, and he's got a big YouTube channel. He works with people like Bernard Gunther, who I will support. I won't support a lot of other people James is friends with, but James has beautiful solutions, and he's a very integritous man. We're human, Gary. We all break. We all have faults. We all make mistakes, but we all have greatness. And if somebody's concentrating more on faulting you than uplifting you for your work, because I've been working 35 years for restoration to teach that people are wounded, both abusers and abusees are wounded people, to restore. And if you're being faulted for that, but character assassinated instead, where they're making people see you by assaulting your character instead of your work, that's where I'm calling out these new cage predators. And our community is filled with them, brother. Filled with them. Yeah. Authors, YouTubers, teachers, occultists, mystery schools. They're fucking bad news, brother. Their behavior proves it.
I know. It may look like I have like a lot of connections. If you look at Facebook, you'll see, common friends and stuff, but if I interact with you and you just prove yourself to be incapable of being decent, then I won't talk with you anymore. I won't even necessarily delete you off Facebook, but you will no longer speak with me anymore. And that's as simple as that. I won't even tell you that I'm not speaking with you anymore. You'll just disappear. You have to be able to be respectful. Like, it's very simple. It's not rocket science.
No, it's not rocket science, but your life force is precious, Gary. You are a precious life force. Your soul and your heart and your mind are beautiful.
Thank you.
Are you going to keep those people that disrespect you just out of respect on Facebook, or are you going to let them go so the right people come in? Maybe the right money opens up, the right energy channels. That's what I teach. You don't have to be respectful of disrespectful people anymore, brother. You love them more by cutting it.
I'm gonna trim the Facebook tree, most definitely. I don't know when.
I do it like 4 times a year, and I always post to everybody, time to clean the Facebook friends, guys. So,
I did think about like just going down the list and seeing who I actually cared about having on the list, and maybe I've thought about doing this, just sending a message to everyone that I think I care about somewhat, and see like if some exchange happens. And I think that itself will change your algorithm completely. So what you see is more based off of what you actually care about rather than a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, that's thinking energetically outside the box, and that's drawing frequencies. We no longer lower our frequencies to make people comfortable. We maintain our frequencies so people meet ours now.
Right.
That's where it's at. You're integritous, Gary. You're kind. You're funny as hell. You're educated. You're knowledgeable. Let people rise up to meet you now, brother, because that's what you deserve. You're a fucking gorgeous soul. Gorgeous young man, too.
Thank you.
Happy to look at there, young one. And no disrespect to your girlfriend, okay? I'm just being very free right now and animated.
Yeah, no, she's she'd probably have a good laugh. I think it's funny. It's funny because like I went through all of the stages of like women coming at me, and I had to go through all of the obnoxious like toxic crap before she came around, and eventually like she landed, and she's good for me, and she's still is a woman, and women generally think that, I don't know why, but I guess there must always be a tiny amount of like, is this going to keep going or is it not? And what can I do about it? Like everyone apparently has that. I don't know why.
Well, there's a very simple solution to that fear block. And the simple solution is just open communication. So whatever, even if it's very uncomfortable, you speak the dialogue to one another and you solve. You have the solution. So I'm always that
is how it happens. That's how it is with everything. It's when you're hiding shit inside, and when you're saying one thing and you're doing and acting and behaving in a different way, that's what creates the toxicity.
That was one of the deciding factors that made me get rid of so many from our community, because all the people who seem to have all these issues with me of hating or shaming or judging me, not one of them would speak to me face to face or over the phone like I asked.
Yeah.
So that to me is red flag. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
It took me from 2010 to 2019 to make that decision, though.
Yeah.
So, I popped around a couple of different communities. I was on a big speaking circuit around 2011 to 13. Speaking on the East Coast at conferences with like Teal Swan and Andrew Bartzis and Tom Kapacha and T Nano Healing Tools, and Laura Eisenhower, I think, was on that circuit with me. Julian Wells, Helene Lipton, Michael Monk, a bunch of us energy masters. And then I caught nefarious things happening in that community. community with New Cage Predators, and I had my character assassinated and work, kind of repressed and suppressed as a TI. And then I came into this fringe community with the Bases and Miles Johnston and Misha Johnson and all of them, the Laudas, the Og, the Augmented Man, the Sarah Adams Apple Girl. I mean, that big community, the Eve Lorgans, and they all judged me. And I saw the New Cage Predators there, and I tried to fit in there for 9 years, Gary.
Wait, everyone judged you?
Most of them did. Like I said, I've only kept 5 of you guys.
I think, I'm totally fine with Lauda and Eve and who else? I'm okay with Og. I know like half the people hate Og or think he's a disinfo agent, but I think that's sorry.
I respect all of them. I'm just going to use Eve Lorgan as an example. Since I've come out on the big interviews with the 500,000 hits kind of stuff, I've been promoting Eve Lorgan for 7 years. Almost every one of my interviews, including my channel. I was participating in her alien love bite group, and I posted a video on my tarot about Machiavellianists and love bites, but reading through the tarot. And instead of her watching the content, she reprimanded me. Jolene, pull your video. You have no right to promote yourself in here. And instead of talking to me, now I've gone through 7 years of this woman hating me, not treating me kind, while I'm promoting her, giving her honor for her love bite material that I help counsel people with, even sending hundreds of people her way, promoting her. I post one video in a group and I get reprimanded for promoting instead of my content helping her love bite victims. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
No more, Gary.
That's good. That's totally fine. I think I probably have to work on my own ability to like not be nice to everyone, because that's how I tend, is to be nice to everyone. But although I will say, if you have not personally done something to me, like if an Eve or even if Lauda or Og for that matter, if anyone has talked shit on me, then I'm gonna go to them and I will say, why are you talking shit on me? Or I will ask what the problem is, and then if we can resolve it, then it will be fine. But like if that has to be like a thorn in the relationship, then yeah, it has to drop off.
Listen, I still respect Eve's work. We would not know what alien love bites are if it wasn't for her books in the Dark Side of Cupid, right? I respect Og for his AI transhumanism. Lauda, she's brilliant, right? There's nothing I hold against. Lauda and I were never friends on Facebook to begin with, but it's not a judgment of dislike. It's just their frequencies, their ability to communicate openly and effectively and confront their shadow issues, whether it's about me or not, was nil. That doesn't meet my frequencies, Gary. I speak openly. I encourage communication for solutions. So I can't keep those vibrations with me. I can respect them from afar. I'm just giving you an example of what I will and will not allow. So Eve, let's get it straight. She's a respectable woman. Her material is great, but she didn't meet my frequencies of being able to openly dialogue for years. So that had to go bye-bye. And so I hope I reiterated that a whole lot better than being so.
It's fine. It's totally fine. I don't even involve myself that much. Like, people probably even wonder like what the hell I'm doing, even like what I'm about or anything like that, because I think I appear as an enigma to most people or something. I'm not sure, because like I don't involve myself that much. I don't care about your drama. I don't care about. I mean, Aurora said Og's mind is full of worms or something. Like there's all kinds of shit being talked on literally everyone. Probably on me, like people, nobody's like coming to me directly and saying shit. But if you exist in this realm, like someone is talking shit on you, like guaranteed.
I've never heard shit talked on you. I think the shit talked on you is in your own immediate vicinity of your past past ex. I've
Yeah,
never.
maybe.
I don't call people out anymore, and I probably shouldn't have used Eve as an example, but in a way we have to, because relationships are so important that they meet your vibration, and it's not a judgment. It's just a lack of melding of the frequencies.
Well, this is the thing that this is how I look at the whole shit talking phenomenon, because it needs to be understood. You can't run away from it, right? So like, if someone, it's a test of your own inner strength. If someone's talking shit on you, it's a good thing, right? Like, if you sit there and you have to get your panties in a bunch because someone's talking shit on you, that means your foundation is very unstable, and you need to look at that, right?
Now, also, no, yes and no. But when you are being targeted and character assassinated instead of the content you're producing, or your ethical morals, that's where it could kill a spirit or a soul.
It's a fine line. I understand. And then, of course, if you have like gangbang sort of consciousness attack style stuff, I've seen all of that as well. I do understand that there's shit talking from a personal level, and then there's like group shit talk. There's a lot of different layers to it, but at the core of it, like with in your situation, it made you stronger. All of that, all of it. Even though you said you almost died 3 times, or you did die 3 times, your power came partially from the negative shit talking stuff, right?
Yeah. I teach it as the crapple syndrome. CRAPAL. Criticism, rejection, abandonment, punishment, attacks, and lies. So when you can withstand the crapple from anyone and not take it personally, then you've excelled out of that broken state of soul fracture or spirit fracture or identity crisis or overly expressive, unbalanced empath, reactionary. And I was all that, but it was a hard lesson to learn, Gary, coming out of 53 years of people stepping on your shoulders and stabbing knives in your back hasn't been an easy life.
Yeah. And I know the viewers can.
Oh, I lost your volume. Okay.
Is it back?
Yep, I got you back.
Okay. I don't know. It's just, I think if you've seen enough, if you've been through enough, you don't have a choice but to be compassionate. Like, that's where I come from. I'm not sitting here like giving a fuck because I just was given 2 options. Don't give a fuck, do give a fuck. And I was like, okay, I'll choose give a fuck. No. That's not how it happened. Like, I went through the fucking gauntlet over however many eons of, being here in this fucking place. It's not a great place necessarily, like, you learn lessons over vast amounts of time. And it's all like coagulated in your soul essence, right? And then it comes out when you speak with somebody. So it's just, you have to be, if you've been through that and you remember it, you don't have any choice but to be caring. That's how it is for me.
That's the beautiful thing about restoration, is it makes you more compassionate. It makes you more understanding. It increases your virtues. It increases your forgiveness, your humility. And that's really where it's at, right, brother? I mean, we had all that before as empaths, but we were overly forgiving, overly nurturing, overly caring, overly giving. So when you have it in a neutral space of recovery, it's so much easier to flow through. You don't take the grapple personally. You don't have the reactions. You gain the sense of resiliency to yourself that just births this newness, and that just is a natural, even thing. It just is. Compassion is there. The understanding is there. The forgiveness is there. The humility is there. The acceptance is there. There's 6 heartfelt virtues, the valor. So you have all of those happen naturally through the levels of healing. Not an easy thing, because forgiveness comes last, right? To learn true forgiveness, you can never force that. You have to recover before that easily comes.
And forgiveness also can't be forced. Like even if you're on the opposing side of the bad deed and you want forgiveness, you can't even if you go tell someone, hey, sorry for what I did, that's not any guarantee that you're going to receive it.
Yeah.
And you got to be okay with that as well. You have to learn to know that you can't control people. You cannot control people, period.
I just did a small talk on that up on YouTube. If we're using force, it's something outside of ourselves, Gary. We're trying to control a situation or control others by using force. Mm-hmm. Instead, we want to go within, use the power within ourselves. That creates its own force, which naturally, if you change, your situation adapts around you through that natural force. So I want to teach people the difference between control exterior force versus interior power that creates that bohat, or the natural force, the Jedi force.
You could even say that the love thing is a force as well, but like if someone is kicking and screaming as they're being drawn towards something, or if someone is like, oh, this is amazing and I love it, as they're being drawn toward it, it's still like a power that's moving you, but it's completely different. Like manipulative force it's literally the police force in the form of a human being, threatening behind closed doors some type of thing, like that's all narcissism is. It's inside that person. They're hiding away in little pockets, like, I'm going to do this to this person, I'm going to do that to that person, I'm going to withhold something. That's all that it is.
The narcissist disease can be cured. It starts with the empath. The empath has to stop being codependent, has to get into recovery and cure the codependency and the repressed and overly unbalanced to be the empath. When you're the balanced empath, you are no longer feeding the virus. That's where the cure happens. We're looking at a long-term resolution here, but that's the beginning stage. Know thyself, heal thyself, be non-reactive is so much of a learned process. It's not something you can bypass and just easily do. You can't easily accept the cruelty of these people and just say, I forgive you or I love you. So it's a learned process of getting out of codependency, out of repression, to express your voice safely, to handle the crapple. And that's the cure, because we are never going to avoid a narcissist on this planet for at least 6,000 years. When we get it, if that's even correct, that's only the Western astrologers. The Vedic astrologers are saying it's more like 20,000 years till we get to that age, back to like Atlantean age or utopian age. Yeah. So if you have to deal with narcissists in the matrix, right? We're in the matrix, but we're in an avatar. We still have a soul. How are you going to navigate dealing with narcissists? I teach how to dialogue with them now. I teach how to go through court systems with them. I teach how to disconnect from them. I teach how to recover from that. But I also teach that you're still going to have them around. So you better learn how to speak boundaries. You better learn how to dialogue with them. And I have all kinds of formulas I teach folks that are easy to do. Yep. You can't avoid them, Gary.
I know. Yeah. Well, you can kind of avoid them in a sense.
But that's not healthy either, because we came to this planet to live. We came to this planet, even if it's a matrix, even if it's a computer game, we're still an avatar with this beautiful soul, this spark of life force soul that is so real in an unreal system we call the matrix. Yeah. So we didn't come here as empaths or star seeds or rainbow children or whatever you want, indigos, whatever you want to label us. We did not come here to long to go home to Pleiades or Lyria or Sirius. We came here to live this matrix, to live our soul's guidance. We came here to experience not only the negative, but is everybody really pursuing their happiness? Is everybody really pursuing their soul's drive? Is everybody really pursuing what safety feels like?
Nobody's pursuing any of that. Jolene, I promise you 1% 0.0001% of people are actually pursuing it. It's heavy. I don't know why it is exactly like that. I just know that like the person that even like types as such as myself are very rare. Like I'm all about let's go and do something, and let's play and let's jump around and do whatever, you know, like let's go do something in this fucking game, whatever that we're in. But I don't see hardly any people with enough energy to even say something like that, let alone like, how do I do it? You know, how do I get resources? How do I find the people that want to play with me and this and that and the other thing? Like,
I feel that's all about to change, brother. Astrology is proving it to us. We are going to converge, brothers and sisters, soul tribe. We are. It's already began. More and more people will awaken, Gary, because the structure's so broken. I'm not talking awakened with all this conspiracy stuff. I'm talking about average, normal neighbors and families that are working 3 jobs and living with their in-laws, and because they can't afford with that minimum wage job, the 3 of them that they have, they still can't afford rent. That kind of stuff is starting to crumble, and people are hungry to talk, you know, verbally, face to face, to meet each other eye to eye. So that's what I want you to embrace now. We are Hulk smashing that 0.00001 are only willing to do that. I disagree, my brother. I believe, I know it's happening.
I mean, I'm ready for it. I've been ready for a long time. So anyone who's watching, like, Gary's ready to do things. I've been like ready for a long fucking time, but it's you know, I can't force it. Like, it goes along how it goes. But I think if we, and you know, I maintain a very steady output, even though my personal life is very chaotic and suppressive as far as money and you know what I get to do with myself during the day. Internally, I'm the same as always. Like, I'm always the same exact thing, and it is actually a power that other people can draw on if they want to play nice and not be like a little brat, you know, stealing loosh behind my back. You know, we can do things together. That's the whole point of us being here, is we meet up with each other and do things, right? So let's do things.
I live in I was put into this safe housing through a domestic violence center back in December of 2018. And it's like a complex of 44 people, and most of them are older or disabled. And these folks, you know, when I first moved in, I could see the split timeline of how they were kind of robotic, you know, NPC sort of. But living here and experiencing life with my community, these people have been like family to me, Gary. More and more of them are making eye contact, wanting to talk about Egypt. Look, I had 5 minutes with a neighbor at a Christmas party, and the dude liked me so much that he made me a handmade snow globe with a black cat, like my cat Zeus.
Nice.
The geese pyramids. And I mean, my own neighbor wants to know about astrology and tarot, you know, so we are the change. I got goosebumps. I wish you could see my hair go up because I live with this since I've been 3. We're the change agents here. You are the change agent that can change and manipulate energy around you. And manipulation is not a bad word. Manipulation is a positive or negative power source.
Yeah.
So if you're being the change agent, the people around you most certainly can wake up. I mean, I had a fucking conversation with a neighbor about Egypt and ancient aliens that have made me this. Yeah. My own other neighbor wants to know, and a great astrologer, and you know, what the 3 of Swords means on a tarot card. Beautiful, you know? So we are the change agents. I'm here to smash paradigms. I'm telling you, I have been doing this a long, long time, Gary. I've been Hulk smashing paradigms, and then, you know, nobody believes me for 2 to 10 years, and then famous people come out with that identical information I did 10 years prior. So now I'm just teaching. I'm just teaching these Hulk smashing things, and whether people agree or not, I guarantee you 5 or 10 years from now, you'll all be Hulk smashing the same paradigms I'm talking about now. And that's not an egoistic thing. I just did a thing on Nikki Colombo's show on Truth Frequency Radio, all about ego, the real ego, and how we need to look at ego now. So listen to that interview. It's very, very helpful to understand ego is not a bad word either.
No, none of it's bad. Like, the only way I can try to get across to people, I don't even know what I'm trying to get across. You can't put it in words. It's almost like a little bit of surrender. You're surrendering a little bit to the existence itself, but at the same time, you have to be vigilant of all of the nonsense that's around, and just like be aware that your existence is infinite. I don't care if you're an avatar. I don't care if you're piping your projection in from the egg machine or wherever the hell in the halls of a mentee or wherever we're coming from. It does not matter. Like, you don't know. I already know that I don't know the full capacity of my own self, or of, my little bubble that has what I could just be negative and say, oh, it's just stupid NPCs sipping their Starbucks. But at the same time, I could walk over to them and I'm sure have a conversation like how you're having with your, used to be robotic neighbors, and like it's like a light that can spread through all of it. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
No, I mean, I enjoy walks with I have an NPC neighbor. He's lovely. He's a lovely neighbor. We take lovely walks together. It's beautiful. I go and sip brandy with him and a little fireside, lovely decadent bar. I'm drinking coffee right now, bro. But we're here to live, and we're light workers. We're light warriors. We are educators. We're moralistic. We're virtuous. We're gregarious. We're not afraid of the Walmarts. We don't need the gas mask, empath gas masks anymore, you guys.
No.
Take the empath gas mask off and live this life as your soul wants you to, as the light worker, as the light warrior. Be the change agent for your community. You can be so happy, Gary. I feel like I'm reborn because I've never felt happiness before. I've never felt peace or safety. I've never not known how to be myself without feeling somebody crush me. So I feel very reborn right now.
Well,
I feel very much myself.
You're in a very good position to help a lot of people then, because that's how everyone else is here. They're like, I don't know how to smile. Like, my face just needs to be contorted into a grimace at all times. I don't know how to get down with that, because like, I'm just very simple and just, let's go do something. Not that I'm not complex and have all of the methods to fight off dumbasses that need to attack me, but I don't dwell on that because there's no need. Like, some people need to just be angry at the realm and the whoever's that are, oppressing us. Just drop that shit. Like, you're yourself. Look at your own hands. What are you doing with your own hands? Like, do something,
What sign are you? What zodiac sign are you? Are you a Cancer by any chance?
I was a Cancer due to whatever. I don't know. I guess I'm Gemini now. Apparently it changed.
Oh, you're progressed Gemini. Okay.
Yeah, I'm July 3rd.
Okay. I'm getting good at kind of understanding how to see signs in people.
Yeah, you said. Yeah, it was Cancer. Like, that's what I thought it was the whole time, but apparently it's Gemini.
Yeah, well, you're in what they call progressed Gemini, so that makes sense to me. You know what? For Cancer and Gemini, so I could just tell you right now, coming out of your Cancer, you're good with putting things together in the home, in your structure of your family. But when something goes wrong in a Cancer's life with the structure of something, Cancers lose their shit and they just want to like ping pong instead of stop. Be like, oh shit, you know what? I'm at the center of all this. I better fucking blame myself here. So that's one of the things that Cancers are going to have to do. And the Geminis, it's you go side to side, right? The Gemini has a side to side to it. So astrology is going to tip you over to one side, and it looks like you're being tipped right now with this new endeavor you and your girlfriend are doing. So it's going to tip you to levels of anxiety right now. It's going to tip you so far over to one side, Gary. So it wants you to bring your Gemini back in the center, in between the two columns. Yeah. I just did an energy report update for all signs, and it's making every single sign go against what feels natural for them. So.
Well, that's my whole life. Like, that's not even just. I've never had the actual external be very supportive of what I genuinely felt. Like, I had to fight to get to the position where I could actually even express myself and not feel, that I was violating something. Jolene, I gotta get going. I'm sorry to cut this short if it feels like it's been cut short. I have another.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Gary.
I did one at 10. I had this one, then I have the regular meeting at 2. So it's a lot of all stacked up things together.
Hugs to you. Love you so much. Thank you so much, Gary.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you soon. I love you, brother.
All right. I love you too, Jolene. Be well, okay?
All right. Be well too. Bye.
All right,
I don't know how to shut Zoom off, so you're going to have to do it.
I will do it. Don't worry about it. Okay. I think I'll do it. Maybe I won't. End meeting? Yeah, it's not letting me do it, actually.
Okay, I'm going to shut my phone down because it's the only way I know how to shut it off.
Okay.
Thanks again, Gary.
Yep, have a good one. Doo-doo-doo. JoJo Show. See, I click end meeting, it's supposed to pop up something.